Good morning, race fans. It's Monaco. Welcome to the Race Statistics YouTube channel, Race Statistics Twitch channel. Probably live somewhere else that I don't not aware of, but I want to thank wherever you're listening that we are live right now. Again, this is the Monaco Grand Prix. This is Grash Riza. We're here with one of the crown jewels of motorsports. Again, the three crown jewels is Monaco, Indianapolis 500, which is also later today. By the way, don't know. Schwartzman's on pole with Prema with their first year in IndyCar. Crazy history happening over in IndyCar. Crazy drama as well. If you don't know, we'll maybe talk if we've got time. But ultimately, there's two of the crown jewels. If you're crazy, you've also got the Coke 600. Kyle Larson's possibly doing the double duty with the Indy and the 600. And again, the other crown jewel is your Le Mans. So that's coming up in a few weeks. Yeah, a lot of country this is, but we only got 6.5 minutes to go, and I don't have enough time to explain it all to you. Do we see a G for a red flag today? If there's an incident, throw a G in chat. Yeah, yeah. Do we see a red flag? I'm thinking we probably will. We've got 6 rookies, and then we've got veterans who are pushing the line so hard. Someone's going to make a mistake, and any mistake here is disastrous. So, yeah, I'm probably getting my 5th red flag in a row. Monaco is made for red flags. And we didn't have to light the track on fire to get those, Nomad. Yeah, put in chat what you guys think your predictions in chat. How do you think things are going to go? See, this is the old poll. I think Oscar's going to win. That means it's going to get ahead of Leclerc and Norris somehow. William Gabriel does not think Max is going to finish. Yeah, if you guys think someone's not gonna finish, that's for today. That's okay to say because I'm gonna summon a red flag somehow. So it's okay to say how that red flag went today. Wheels come off. People go pinballing. I mean, last year we had a red flag when K Mag tried to get around Checo. They collided and then took out Hulkenberg. Go back to Hulkenberg last year. How he was so um, concise and disappointed with his teammates. See what's going on over in what, YouTube chat. I've seen people crashing before lap X happening. I know there was a massive red flag in F2 this morning. I have not seen the video of it, so I don't know. Really can't tell you how bad it was. Um, Normally we would be that way, Martin. It's just it's Monaco. We've had 6 red flags. This, we've had 6 red flags this weekend already. It doesn't top Japan. We granted Japan was lighting their track on fire, but it was at seven car pileup, so that would be equivalent to a big one for F2. Yeah. Okay. It was really yeah. I haven't seen the video. Saints and Tsunoda are nearly identical. Hmm, I don't think we can do much about that right now. Should be okay. You guys you guys know it should be okay. Oh, 11 car crash. Oh, it was an actual big one. So there's a term that comes from NASCAR. It's called the big one, and that's when they have 10 cars involved, 10 or more cars involved in a single incident on track. Not every car makes it back to the pit. Several do. Um, Again, with NASCAR particularly, they're doing like the Cup Series and the NASCAR Series. Um, they're doing what's called pack racing. So they're lined up like 12 long, 2 to 3 wide. Yeah, it's a big pack, and so if something happens in the middle of that pack, it takes out the back of the pack. Sometimes it happens in the front of the pack, and it's the leaders that get involved, and that basically basically is a bunch of dominoes falling. Looks like that's what happened to F2 is that something happened and it was just a when that happens, it's just a domino effect. Um, that normally does not happen in the F3, F2, F1 series or IndyCar. It's particular to NASCAR because they drive in a pack. So that's what's going on. Um, yeah, the other thing I think you should note is that Hamilton got a 3 place penalty drop. So he qualified for it, but was dropped to seventh based on that. He impeded Max in Q1. Stroll also got another 3 place penalty drop, but poor Behrman, he got a 10 place drop, so that didn't affect. So even though that one drop already was applied, that number 3 didn't really matter because Behrman had a lot more. Clark needs to dive on Saint Devotee. Ooh, you guys have spicy takes this morning. We're seconds away to the formation lap starting. You guys are looking for a very big crash on turn one. Again, that's what happened last year. Is that we did get that turn one. It was just after turn one. They were going up the incline from turn one to turn two. The formation lap has started, everyone. Again, 2 mandatory pit stops are required. Now, they don't have to use all 3 compounds. Looking at where things stand right now, as expected, Aston Martin is using scrub hards. Albon is using scrub mediums, but he's got 4 laps on those mediums. Gasly has 6 on his mediums. That's interesting that they're using these mediums in a more extensive way. Art's asking no crashes, please. Yeah, and that again, getting back to our normal, we typically don't like to see crashes, but we're here at Monaco, and any mistake is super punishing. And they are displaying an ad for the F1 film as the drivers go through the tunnel. That's interesting. They were interviewing everyone, um, from Zach Brown to Horner. Basically, the consensus is that no one knows what's going to happen with the 2 pit stop requirement in this race. Pirelli has put out information, but it's like 15 different ways you could possibly do this, and no one knows what would possibly be. No red, yellow flags from Monaco makes it boring, I suppose. But that happened with Monaco last year. We got the red flag early on, and then so early on, and then everyone went to hards, and that was it for any strategy in the race. The drivers are still lining up right now. Oh, that's interesting. Oil on the start finish line. That's interesting. Yeah, AM over here in Texas, David. Yeah, I'm in North Texas, several hours north of Austin, about an hour or so from the Oklahoma border. Here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing in Monaco. And Lando's going to get ahead, and Charles is, they are too wide right now. Oh, there's a lockup on Lando, but he gets it around. Looks like some bumping around, but nothing major. No incident through turn 1 so far. And they're starting to line up. So Norris, Leclerc, Oscar, Max, Isaac, then Alonso. Coming around the hairpin, first hairpin coming down. They are pretty much in a line right now. Uh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Lando nearly bottled that. Oh, we have that's Bordello into the wall. That's going to be a red flag. Let's see, Bordello. No, Bordello gets out, so that's gonna. He goes into the wall. He's gonna come back out. He will come back and he will box right away and change that nose cone. So Gasly, Colapano, Stroll, Beerman all up a position after that bottling. Hulkenberg managed to get ahead of Sonoda. Sonoda's pitted though now. So we've got Beerman, Gasly, Sonoda pitting early on. We will expect Bordello. BSD has been deployed. There may be debris on the track that they're trying to clear up. Oh, Bellows trying to, yeah, Barlow was trying to hang up position, couldn't make the turn. Yeah, he's claiming that Kimmy pushed him off, but Kimmy was ahead of him, unfortunately. Uh, Bierman had a bad stop. Oh, this has been a crazy for first two laps already. So I'm looking why again right now. I suspect that they're trying to clean some debris off the track where and the barriers where Borletto hit. So there is a gap between Norris and Leclerc, and then a bigger gap between Leclerc and Oscar already. So that's a thing to put into note right now. F's and chats for Borletto. Yeah, definitely F for chats for him. We should be putting G's in chat. Yeah, forget about the F's. Let's put G's in chat, everyone. We're not giving any respects for this. And we got three penalty. That was again. That was because of it impeding Max in Q1 yesterday. That's why he's starting seventh right now. Well, has started seventh. No, several people pitted. I mean, Sonoda, Gasly, Behrman, Bordello obviously pitted. I mean, obviously Bordello is getting a nose change. Well, I know people are pitting. People have pitted. People in the back have pitted. Again, right now they're trying. Again, if they pit right now, there's no benefit. Stroll should pit. Stroll probably should pit. Yeah, if ad blocker is if the you're getting ads and it's desyncing the screen, I mean refresh. So they still double yellow in sector 10 is the issue right now. Oh, so the reason why Lando locked up is because Clerk came up on the side of him, was trying to push him. It's a massive block item. Charles backs off on that. Oh, Max almost tried to do a dive bomb on Oscar, and that might have been the moment he probably pulled that off. We're looking at Danelli right now. Danelli gets on the inside of Bortolao, gets ahead of him, and that's basically did not give him room. Virtual safety car is ending lap 4, so we are going back to green. So let's see what action happens when we go back to racing. Clerk is too far back behind Lando to make a remove. We are on lap 4 of 78. Again, this is Race YouTube channel and Twitch. This is Grash with you giving live coverage of Monaco Grand Prix as they go green. And they've just hit turn 1. Lando and Clerk have just hit turn 1. The gap right now is 7/10 from Leclerc. That's pretty far back. Oscar's now 2.3 seconds back, and Max is another second after that. We have a dare exchange from behind Max right now, going from him to Lawson at this point. Albon is on 1.3 back. And those where we stand at the moment. Ollie and Kimi are going to have a chill one. Oh boy. Norris is pulling away from Clark. Both of them are on medium tires. So the top three are on medium tires. Max has gone on a different strategy where he's using a hard tire instead. Isaac is back on a medium strategy. Alonso's using one lap used hard. So is Hamilton, and then we're using mediums Ocon, Lawson, Albon. Albon though has had a 4 or 5 lap used uh, medium tire. Right now, if we had a safety car, it was a virtual safety car. They didn't bunch up because the virtual safety car, um, basically by using the virtual safety car, it preserves the gaps between cars, whereas the safety car, those gaps go away. So you're watching both TikTok and YouTube. If we're on TikTok, that's awesome. Did not know that we were there. Hello, TikTok. What happened to Sonoda? Nothing happened. Sonoda basically pitted. So he's in the group that's in a extreme early undercut. That's him and Gasly. Beerman basically has had a bad stop, and then Borleo has had an incident. Um, VSE kills the race in strategy. I wouldn't say so because we've got two required pit stops, and only 4 people pitted under the virtual safety car. So yeah, I mean, we don't know how this is going to play out with those 2 stops. I mean, already Bierman having a bad race already um, did not have a good pit stop at all. What's Hamilton doing right now? He's in a pack with 7 other people. The race is somewhat new. Is right. The drivers are spreading out right now pretty quickly. What caused the VSC? Bordello got put into the wall. He put himself into the wall, I should say. Antonelli came in and really didn't give him room, but Antonelli was ahead of him. Yeah, they've already called that a racing incident because Antonelli was ahead of Bordello. Bordello feels like he got pushed in the wall, but Antonelli was ahead, unfortunately. How's the weather forecast? Any chance for rain? No chance for rain. We need Norris and Verstappen to finish ahead of Oscar. That will tie up the championship. That's true, but right now Max is behind Oscar at the moment. So Oscar has basically backed up everyone behind him. He's 4.5 seconds off of Charles. It's 6.3 seconds behind Norris, and then Max is now almost 2 seconds. So they're basically have spread out. £10 donation for Paula Boo for this great channel, great commentary, great fans. Thank you all. Thank you for the donation, Paula. Where did IJ come from? 5th. What's your prediction of this race right now? Right now, it's pretty much Norris's race to lose, and it's going to come down to those pit stops. Why isn't Oscar closing it? That's a good question. I don't know why. We have now the yellow flag. Oh, Gasly has lost his front tire. and he's dragging along. He's trying to get back to the pit. So Gasly has hit something. He's lost his left front tire. That he's gonna be a DNF. Um, is he gonna stop? This is gonna be a red flag. He's still moving. He's gonna get into the pits. So so there might be a virtual safety car because debris on track. Yeah, there's so the Novo chicane. There's part of his wing is there. Of course, yeah, which is the only way of yellows, but there's debris on track. What is going on? Crazy. So there is debris on track at the Nova chicane. I'm watching Gasly. He's headed Sonoda. Oh, and Gasly hits Sonoda, and that basically the tire comes off when he hits him. So pit entry is closed at the moment. Ooh, and that's Sonoda just yeah, Sonoda basically dodging debris going all over the place. So the front left wing of Gasly came off in that collision. So the question right now is is there damage to Sonoda's car, and what type of damage is it? So Gasly is out because of a collision with. So we're still under yellow flag. It's still again there's debris on track. So looks like things have been cleared up. This point, we've gone green, and here we go. We've got Max right on Oscar right now. He's been on behind him the whole way. Pit lane is now open. How can you have a closed pit lane when you might get a puncher from the debris? I don't know. That's a good question. Why was a yellow flag? Because Gasly hit the back of Sonoda. His wheel came off, lost his wing. He came back to the pits, but it took a while for the marshals to clear the track of debris. So he got lost on his track time deleted. Turn 10, lap 9. We're on lap 12:78 right now. And these laps are going to come quick and fast. Lost round leading a DRS train. And then we got Clerk advancing on Norris right now, bouncing in and out of DRS range. So we've got definitely got a couple different little worlds happening here. We've got the Norris Leclerc world going on, the Oscar Max world going on. We got Isaac in his zone by himself, Alonso, Hamilton, Alonso in their own little world, and then we've got Lawson all the way back in a train. So these are the worlds that we are living in right now in this race. Hulkenberg is coming in to pit. And he goes to Hearts. So he started on a fresh medium. He's now gone to Hearts. Again, he still has another pit to do, but he will come out in clean air, almost a whole sector behind. So that will be an advantage for him as he gets back up to everyone else. Yeah, one of the things I'm pointing out on F1 TV is that basically Lawson is basically being the person who's holding everyone up, to give his teammate Isaac a huge gap ahead to get good points, to get into fifth right now, which is very good points here at Monaco. Franco is coming into the pits. He did 12 laps on a hard tire. I don't know why they're pitting him now, unless they're thinking they can get track position by pitting now and get the clear air. It's coming out on a used medium with 7 laps on a used medium. What is that? Crazy. They put Colpino out on a 7 lap used medium tire. Oh man, that's that. Okay, we'll see how things go. And here comes Isaac coming into the pits. 13 laps on that medium tire. And Isaac did a 2.7 stop. If Ryan he'd be crashing out, but I'm not Ryan. I'm actually enjoying the race. And I'm looking where strategy happens and what's going on. Isaac is now on a soft tire. He's ahead of his teammate too, so he can push on that tire and then make. He's got clear ahead of him because that's a difference of 14 seconds to Ocon. Yeah, Lacerano is our minister of defense right now. They're telling Leclerc to stay with Norris. He was asking what the strategy is, and they just told him to stay with Norris. Why is Isaac off? Because he pitted for Sauce. He was able to pit and get in behind, get ahead of his teammate, who was basically holding up, 12 cars. What do you mean? What are be sure what they're doing is ethical? It's a it's a undercut basically. So Ocon and Alonso are pitting right now. The, the Alonso does a 2.6. Ocon does 3.1 stop. So so Isaac is going to get ahead of Alonso and Ocon based on their pitting strategy here. Hamilton radio. So they're telling Hamilton to push now. To push now. What they're doing is especially similar to BM's dirty tactic at Daytona. They get to spin out by Corvette in the last time. Yeah, but it's a legitimate strategy. I mean, he is holding them all up. I mean, we've seen Alonso hold them all up. No, this is not a boring race. I mean, it's a very tactical race, and it's a tactical and technical race. Right now, we got Stroll and Bierman in the pits. That will be so. Bierman is going on to a medium tire. Why did they do this? Why did they put him on? He's gonna have to pit again. They should have put him on a medium tire, then a hard tire, and let him go to the end of the race on that. Stroll's going on to a second medium tire, so that's his second pit. No, that's his first pit. So he's on a new again. They scrub the hards. Hamilton's pitting. That will give by virtue Isaac. Oh, did he get back out? Here comes Isaac. So Hamilton does come out ahead at Isaac at this point. So now Hamilton is good air, clean air. Isaac is good place behind Hamilton. Alonso Ocon is there. Norris right now coming up on the back of the pack. He's got Behrman and Stroll right now. They're in their own little world at this moment. Norris is coming up on the back of them. They'll get Norris is pitting. Norris is pitting. So Clerk is now taking lead of this race by the fact that Norris is pitted. Oscar's going to get by. Verstappen's going to get by. So our world right now, we've got Clear Oscar, Verstappen in their little world, Norris there. Then we have Hamilton, Isaac, Alonso, Ocon in their little world. And then we've got Lawson back to Colapino. And then we've got Stroll, Behrman. Yeah, they've got Stroll, Behrman, and then there's a gap to Leclerc, which will be lapping. Oh, Isaac's pitting again already. He only went 7 laps on those softs. Isaac's going to get ahead of his teammate, and he's gone to the hard tire, scrubbed hard tire. So yeah, he's given him 2 pit windows for Isaac, and Isaac's now on hards. He can go the rest of the race on that tire pretty much. Good. Here comes Oscar into the pits. Whoa, slow stop for Oscar. 3.8. That's not good. Norris is obviously going to get ahead of him. Yeah, Charles just did his best personal lap. They have just enabled Charles to go for it at this point. Same with Max. Max close to he's 2/10 off his best lap. We're gonna get some new data on lap time as they come across the start finish line in a few seconds. So Leclerc, 9/10 slower, 15.72. Max does a 15.2, so Max is 5/10 faster. Norris comes across, he's a 15.29, 5/10 faster. Let's see where Oscar comes in. That was a 118 for Oscar. That's 3 seconds off. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton does a 115.7 last lap. So that's equal to his teammate. Alonso is 7th, 117.92. So we got Isaac right now already done all he's on a hard tire, good to go to the end of lap. He does a 116, which is better than Alonso and Ocon right now. But getting closer to Behrman and Stroll. And Leclerc is pitting. Leclerc is pitting now. Max is going to take lead based on that. We'll see where he comes out. Leclerc did a 2.2 stop. So here comes Norris. No, Norris is going to get ahead of him. Then it's going to be Oscar. So Leclerc is going to get out. Yeah, Norris is ahead of Leclerc, and then Oscar did not get it. He pushed. Don't get me wrong. He's got fastest second and third sectors coming around, but he could not get to Leclerc. And they've gone to hard tires. They still have another pit stop to do. Norris, Leclerc, Oscar, and Hamilton as well. So right now, Max is leading the race by virtue of having not pitted yet. He has 2 pits to do still. Well, right now we're looking at an overcut. With Max coming across the line, he does a 115.524. We'll see what his Norris is coming to the line. We'll see how his last lap. And Norris is a tenth behind. Leclerc does a 120, but he just pitted. Oscar does a 117, a much slower lap than. So they're telling Oscar to go with Leclerc, keep a safety car gap ahead of Hamilton. 2 pit stop, correct? Yes, it is. So we've got again no pits so far for Max, 1 pits from Norris all the way down to Alonso, Ocon. Isaac has pit twice, so it's going to be interesting where he comes out when other people have to stop, he doesn't have to. Max right now has 10-second gap on Norris. If you look at this next lap, Max is going to do a 1:15.181. That's actually faster than previously. Take Norris. Norris is doing another 1:15.2. That gap has increased. So it's a 10.5 gap. So we've got some crazy strategies going on different here right now. We're on lap 25 of 78, so what about one third through this race so far. So so Norris has advanced on Max. He's gotten about 7 tenths on him so far in this last lap. Max did a 1:15.175. Norris has 1:14.4. Again, that's huge, huge, huge gap there again. Leclerc does his best right now, 1:14.618. Again, that's a half a second gap gain on Max. Oscar does a 1:14.9. Again, another only 2 tenths gain on Max, but he's staying somewhat in range of Leclerc at the moment. How on earth Hearts will end to the? They should. So Max right now getting close to Behrman right now, uh, and Behrman will be given blue flags as he passes him. Max is now past at Behrman, and then he's got a gap to Stroll. So Max right now is dealing with lap traffic. Norris is not, and that gap has now dropped to under 8 seconds. Yeah, I probably would have probably pitted Max. I probably would have pitted Max earlier to get onto new tires and not deal with that traffic. I mean, he lost almost 2.5 seconds, almost two. The way things are going, he's going to lose another 3 tenths by the end of this lap. Leclerc doing a fastest first sector so far, so he's pulling away from Oscar. Max did not pit, so he's going around again. He's past Stroll, so he got space between him. Be interesting. Portland and Colapino have pitted. They're going to come out. Oh, that's going to conflict things. Uh, Leclerc's going to get ahead of those two. Oscar is going to pass Colapino, and then he's going to have to deal with Borletto. Again, Borletto's going to have to give room and space for Oscar to pass because he's a lap down already. So again, this is the blue flag scenario. Hamilton will have to deal with Colapino next. Looking right now. Isaac is guaranteed P5. That's probably where he is. Looking at what people are saying in Twitch chat right now. Top eight. Yeah, top eight is probably much locked out. Because Lawson it basically backed everyone up. And here comes Max into the pits. 2.3 stop for Max. That's pretty good. That should get him out in front of Oscar. No, it doesn't. It gets him out in front of Hamilton. And then Max will have to deal with Colin on Bortolello on track. So we've got a world right now where we've got the leaders, the top five, are coming into lap traffic now. Then we have Lawson, Albin, and Isaac in their own world of the world, and Alonso in his own world of the world right now. Ocon is where's Ocon? And Ocon just pitted. That's going to drop him back behind Albin. Yeah, so we have another world. So science is now Lawson and Albin have managed to break away from science, and science is now backing up everyone else behind him. Norris is just passing Behrman. Looking right now, what's going on? So Norris is now getting ahead of Stroll. The next person on track that's Norris will get a blue flag for is Hulkenberg. He's just passed him. So now Norris is now going through that backpack. So the next will be Sonoda, Antonelli, Russell, and Sainz are the next four cars in this pack. We're in 31 laps, lap 31 of 78. We got 48 laps to go. Yeah, Ali got airborne. He went over the curbs. Look right now. Where is he? He is passing Bierman, getting to that pack where Stroll is the back end of. Thinking right now, Ocon has made both of his stops. He's on a hard tire right now, so he could be good to the end of the race at this point. Could be. We'll see how those tires hold up. The Norris has gotten past that group of four that I just mentioned: Tsunoda, Antonelli, Russell, Sainz, and now Charles going from past passed Sonoda. He's passing and getting to pass Antonelli in a moment now. Leclerc only 5 seconds off Norris right now, depending on this. So we'll see if that gap increases because now Norris has clean air to go through. Lawson pitting right now. That gives Albon a place. So we got Alonso, Isaac, Albon, and Ocon out in their own little world right now. So Lawson comes out behind Norris. So he drops to 10th. So only nine drivers are on the lead lap right now. Again, nine drivers are on the lead lap. Leclerc right now has Sainz and Lawson to pass. Gap has increased about 3 tenths, 4 tenths. Norris right now, his last lap was 114.7. Leclerc was 116.481. Again, he's just getting past Sainz now, and then he will have Lawson to pass. There is probably a second gap between Leclerc and Lawson at the moment right now. Albon coming into pits. That will be his first pit. He did 35 laps on that medium tire. So that will give an idea how, he's a tire whisperer. So what's the potential of those tires? And again, he was on a used tire. I think he started with like 5 laps. So Al's going to come out 10th behind. That will put him back in that lap area ahead of Sainz. So only 8 drivers on the lead lap right now. Tires crestwood line means that they're used tires. So again, we look at Albon. Albon went to oh my god, he was on like a 5 medium that had 5 laps used on it. He's now onto a new medium tire that has 8 laps on it. So doing a medium, potentially a soft lap for the last stint for Albon. That if you're going to medium like this, you better go on a soft for that end of the race. Yeah, we've got several, like a dozen, 12 or so seconds between Ocon and Norris right now. Ocon did a 115, Norris did a 114, so he is advancing on him, obviously. Leclerc got his past Lawson now, so he's in clean air to make an advance on Norris now. Oscar right now, head of uh, Sainz, has Lawson to pass before he gets into clean air. And Max, I think, is Sainz to pass, and he's passing him now. So now he's behind Oscar. Good purple, good, almost 2 tenths faster than Norris. In sector 2, losing 4 tenths there. So right now it's an advantage Norris on this lap. Norris does a 19.7 sector 3 to where Leclerc comes across the line. 19.7, slightly less than a tenth. So the difference, Norris does a 14.18 and Leclerc does a 14.349. Again, losing 4 tenths, 4 tenths difference between Norris and Leclerc there gives a 2 tenth difference in that lap. No, this is not the worst race ever. This is a tactical and um, it's a skill and tactical race, and it's not an overtaking race. I mean, Lawson and Science have basically backed everyone up, where that now only 8 people are on the lead lap. Ocon last lap did a 1:15.1, so he's lost almost a second. He does a 15.8. So, Norris is making gains into that back line. The last lap was a 14.7 for Norris. Clerk just did a 14.0, so he gained 7 tenths on Norris. So he's only 5.9 behind Norris right now. No, there's still things to look for. I mean, we just had Norris and Leclerc and Max and Oscar just charge through the back line. I mean, they had to pass several cars on track. I mean, we had Borello crash. He's back on track in the back, but we've had him causing a yellow flag. People cheering for Max, people cheering for Leclerc. What does traffic mean? Basically, there's cars in front of you that you need to pass. Particularly with, again, for a moment ago, we had a line of cars. Again, we looked from Lawson all the way down. Um, both Norris, Leclerc, Oscar, Max, and now Hamilton now just passed. So if you look at the map right now, Hamilton's ahead of Sainz. Hamilton is fifth, Sainz is 11th. If you look all the way from 11th down, that was all traffic, and Alonso has gone off track, and his engine is gone. It's smoking. So Alonso's off the track. Alonso's out. He's off the track. He's blown an engine, but he's pulled off into a catch area, and that's going to allow them to basically he's off track. So we're not going to. We've got the yellow is resolved already back to green. No red flag. No points for Alonso. Yeah, there won't be any red flag because Alonso has been pulled off into a catch area. They're going to be able to deal with him and let other cars keep going. So he's effectively out of the race. Yeah, no points for Alonso. Is it a red flag? No, it's not. Unfortunately, DRS means drag reduction system. So we are on lap 39 of 48. 40 laps to go. So we're halfway through this race right now. For those who are asking, Gasly ran into the back of Sonoda, lost his front wing and his left front tire. Managed to get back into the pits, but there was debris on. That brought out our first yellow flag. Our second yellow flag is now Alonso, but he pulled off in a place where he could be dealt with safely. So we then went right back to green on track. Yeah, this puts us in a very interesting place where, with Alonso now out, Albon and Sainz are ninth and 10th in the points. Ocon has just been lapped. We only have 6 people on the lead lap right now. So the next person Norris has is Isaac Kajah of the Racing Bulls. Lawson and Isaac are in points 6 and 8. Um, and that leaves Ocon and Max in the single team players, and then we got Hamilton and Leclerc and the Ferrari and McLarens. Yeah. Again, one of the things is that Lawson has not scored points yet. He is in position to score points, 3 points at the moment in PA. Yeah, Isaac is in a very good place to move up on at least Hamilton. Maybe I'm. That's a huge gap. Isaac might probably finish sixth where he's standing right now. Here comes Norris from turn one. It's at the back of turn one, middle. So Norris is at turn three. Isaac's at turn four. Isaac's doing 117. Norris is doing 114. So it's a matter of time before Norris catches Isaac and passes him and puts only 5 on the lead lap. Looking at what you guys are saying in chat right now. So Leclerc has just passed Ocon on track, and Norris is coming up on Isaac. He's probably within a second right now of him at the moment. Norris does a 1.4 lap. Leclerc does a 115.1. Oscar coming across the line does a 1.2.1. And then Max, his last lap was 1.4. So we've got differences of thousands of tenths of a second, I should say, between these. Again, we're on lap 43 of 78. There are 64, 36 excuse me, 36 laps left to go. I want to thank those who are watching right now. Whether you are on Twitch, you are on YouTube, thank you very much. Again, this is Grash. Grash Uriza. I am your commentator right now for Monaco. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channels, whether you are on Twitch, YouTube, or where otherwise. Thank you for listening and watching. So Science has passed Albin on track. Sorry, Science is ahead of Albin, I should say. So that's a team strategy looks like right now. They suspect again. I suspect that Science has pace to catch up to Lawson. Oh, Oscar just brushed the barrier. Ooh. So again, the leaders are pushing. I mean, Norris did a 113.872. Leclerc did a 114. Oscar just brushed the barriers to 114.6. Max did his best at 114.380. I mean, we're pushing. And they're like Hamilton is 17 seconds back, and then Isaac is another 50 seconds. Hamilton's on your window. Basically, mean it is pit window. So Hamilton is 17 seconds back, is what they're saying. They can pit right now. So let's say Max could pit right now, come out ahead of Hamilton, and that's what they mean. Russell needs to take a risk. I mean, Russell needs he needs more than just a risk. Okay, right now, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on at the moment. Yeah, so basically, the top four right now are pushing, and that's a window that we need to look at. Hamilton and Isaac are basically in their own little worlds right now, though Isaac has already been passed. My apologies. Isaac is now back. We've got Oscar and Verstappen are next to come up and give give him a blue flag. Hamilton is in his own little world. Lawson is in his own world, but he's being uh, gaining on. Science is behind him, gaining on him at the moment. So that's the piece of action that's going on right now. Science is broken off from Albon, is now trying to charge on Lawson to get to him and maybe pass him on track. Yeah, those of you think that this is a boring race, you guys are not taking it. You're you're got no patience in this moment, and this is a race that's going to evolve over time as things different change. Like again, one of the big stories right now is science now charging to catch the Lawson. We just had Oscar brush the wall. Okay, pit stops is a 19-second average loss. So again, Hamilton is about 19 is at that moment right now. Again, Max could stop could go get his next stop and potentially come out ahead of Hamilton. Obviously, Norris, Leclerc, and Oscar could do that and be ahead of Hamilton as well. Obviously, be ahead of Hamilton. Again, we've got a train that's now formed behind Albon, and Norris is now coming around. He's already passed Hulkenberg. Leclerc has already passed Hulkenberg. So now we're looking at Norris and Leclerc have already made it around, going hitting that traffic that's from Albon all the way down to Borrell at the moment. Why did Alonso retire? His engine blew. Yeah, Alonso did is out. His engine did blow. He got to a point on track where he could get into like a catch area, and that allowed them to go from a yellow flag back to green flag running. Huh. George is complaining about Albon. He's up going slow, and he is going slow on purpose. Norris has passed Bortolano and Colapino for the second time. They're now 2 laps down. Behrman is the next driver that Norris is going to be up to. Leclerc is now charging to get up to Bortolello at this moment. Oscar's now pitting right now. He should come out to max into third based on that pitting, but Oscar's going to come out ahead of Hamilton. And Ribble is telling Max to push right now, and that's obvious because he's pushing right now because Oscar is pitted. More than 10 seconds. Again, he is pushing on Lawson right now. Sainz did a 115.5 and then Lawson did a 115.4. So they're telling Lawson is now pushing now. Those are their best laps of those two drivers at the moment. Right now, Norris has passed up through. Russell is about to pass Albon. Clerk coming in for his second stop. Looks like a 2.2 stop for him, which is not bad. He's going to come out ahead of Isaac. So we got a little group here of Isaac, Leclerc, Isaac, Icon at the moment. Again, Icon and Isaac have been lapped. That puts Verstappen not that far ahead. It would be 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds to Verstappen. Russell again. It's just past Albon. That's a big. That's a big, big. Sainz is pitting. Russell is 19.9 seconds. Sainz is going to get ahead of Russell after that pit, but he's going to only be like 2 seconds ahead. No, he's much closer. He's only half a second ahead. Russell's gone not pitted yet. Sainz has gone to a new medium tire. So we've got Russell is not pitted at all. Antonelli is not pitted at all. Tsunoda's gone 47 laps on those hard tires after only doing one lap on softs. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Electric tires bugged? No. They are bugged right now. Give it a moment. When it should update when he crosses the start finish line. Oh, so Russell's saying basically that Albon is driving radically. He'll rather take the penalty and the 5.5 second penalty than to deal with going back to pass him again. Question in chat. What's the penalty if a team doesn't pit? It's actually disqualification. You would be disqualified from the race if you don't actually do your pits. So right now we're looking at, I think like Max has to pit. Max still has a pit stop to do. Norris and Clerk don't at the moment. Hamilton has a pit stop to do. Sainz has a pit stop to do. Russell has not pitted yet. So if like Russell doesn't do his 2 pit stops, he would be disqualified from the race. And also, if you don't use 2 different compounds. So right now, Hamilton has to use it. Hamilton and Norris have to pit for a different compound. Now they've used hards. Oh, yeah. So basically, the Mercedes have decided to cut the chicane to get around Albon. George is going to take a penalty. Antonelli's going to take a penalty, but they don't care because they're going to go, you know, go past those two, past them, and get significantly ahead on track where the penalty doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, right now the race is about the nouveau chicane, how people are cutting it, why they're cutting it, and what's going on. And Mercedes haven't stopped yet. We've got Max, Hamilton, Sainz, Tsunoda, and Stroll. Oh, Lance Stroll is being squirrely before letting, I think, Leclerc get ahead. Yeah, these back markers are not playing nicely this weekend. Huh. Russell being told to drive through penalty. Um, he's holding his tongue because he doesn't want to get fined. Norris could lap Verstappen. Where's Verstappen right now? No, no. Verstappen's leading at the moment because he hasn't pitted. Sorry, no. Norris not could not right now. Max is leading the race. Sainz and Russell right now are pitting right now. That's going to put Albon in front of him again. And Albon Isaac just got passed by. Let's see where Isaac is. The board doesn't feel right. No. Zero. Hamilton is on the lead lap. Isaac and Ocon haven't, so Hamilton is effectively a lap ahead. Is the pit rule only for Monaco? Yes, it's only for Monaco. It's required. This again, they have done multiple pit requirements in other races, but there was an issue with the tires and curbs. But this is here to stay as a rule at Monaco. A two pit strategy required. But Norris basically pulling up closer to Max. He's 1.9 behind him right now, 1.7 behind. He's charging on him at the moment. Clerk is actually charged up. He's only 1.7 behind Norris. It's a 3.4 gap to Verstappen. Oscar is 7.8 behind Leclerc. It's a total of 11.2 behind Max. And then Hamilton is pitting right now. And he's going to come out cleanly. He was out in his own. He was with Isaac and Ocon and Isaac. He's going to come out behind Lawson on track, but he's actually a whole lap ahead of them. So Hamilton's going to be coming out into clean air. So we got Verstappen, Norris, Clerk in their own little world, and then we got Sainz having passed Russell, based on him pitting. Russell yet to come into the pits. It's 58 laps with 21 left to go. Max right now still has a pit to do. So Norris is still technically leading this race, and he's charging on him. Why aren't Merc pitting yet? I don't know why they're not pitting. I don't know. I don't know. Russell right now, currently in P10 in the points. Science is P9. Lawson is P8. He's significantly out ahead. So Lawson is in a safe spot. Ocon is in a safe spot for points. Hamilton is a safe place for points. He's gone to a medium tire for the end of the race. So he'll do about 25 laps on that medium tire, which is doable. Max has just done 29 on a medium tire. Yeah, this is not to say someone should hit the wall. That we're not looking at a crash gate scenario. Clickers in the DRS range. That is big because that's where the lead of the race really is right now. Because Max still has to pit. Max needs to pit. He'll come out behind Oscar right now. So the virtual lead right now is with Norris and Leclerc. Norris within DRS range of versus Max. As Leclerc pitted, yes, he has. So Norris, Leclerc, Oscar, and Hamilton have all pitted. Their two pits. Why are we doing G's? G's in chat for Russell. What happened to Russell? Oh, for the drive-through. Yeah, yeah, okay. But he hasn't done the drive-through yet. Oh, did he just do the drive-through? Oh yeah, that's why he's got a used lap of 53 tires. There we go. So again, oh, they are bunched up in the top three right now for Max, Norris, and Leclerc. Leclerc getting through. Drive through basically means that the driver has to go through the pit lane. Basically, it's a penalty. Um, Basically, the driver has to drive through the pit lane as a penalty, as opposed to staying on track. Because the pit lane, when you go through the pit lane, you have to slow down. Uh, a speed limit through the pit lane. Oh, okay. Right now, Max is waiting for a red flag so he can go come into the pits and change his tire. Leclerc right now is fighting with Norris. That is, if anything else, those two are right now fighting for the lead. And here comes Oscar. Oscar right now is doing flying laps. He's got the fastest lap of the race, last lap, 113.745. So he's got room to basically maneuver and to catch up to Leclerc potentially. So Max is getting a small gap, 1.6 seconds ahead of Norris, but Leclerc is still point 0.5, point 0.7 till, yeah, he's point 0.7 behind Norris right now. Leclerc has a medium tire and Norris has a better hard tire. Hamilton getting lapped. I don't see that happening. He's so far ahead that I don't think you'll be lapped. Yeah, I mean, Isaac and Ocon basically are in the little world where that could potentially be an actual change. Looking right now, again, the big thing that marked the beginning of this race is that Lawson and Sainz and Albon basically went slow as possible to give the other teammates um, a chance to get ahead and get multiple pit stops. And by doing so, we've got you know uh, uh, let's say only five are on the lead lap. Only eight are three are on low and lap behind, and the rest are 2 laps back. It's not that Hamilton is behind Oscar effectively. Hamilton is so Max right now is leading the race. Max just started lap uh 64. Hamilton is still on lap 63. So right now, if Max catches up to Hamilton, he would effectively pass him on track, and that would put Hamilton down a lap. He's currently on the lead lap. We're on lap 64, 78. We've got 15 laps to go in this race. Leclerc can't pass Norris. Yeah, I don't think Leclerc's going to be able to pass him. Tired right now. I think his tires are gone. And he can't pit because that would see track advantage to Oscar. So right now, I think Leclerc is choosing to sit behind Norris, and basically draft behind him right now. Yeah, the top four have been pushing nonstop this entire race, and they have lapped all but Hamilton at this point. Hamilton is the last driver to be lapped in this race. And again, technically, Hamilton is only 45 seconds behind Oscar right now. It's a gap of 52 seconds. So it's not an entire lap just yet, but we could by the end of the race see Hamilton lapped. Two pit stops. That's correct. That means and again, that's again Max is not pitted. He will eventually pit and he will come in. He'll come drop down to fourth. Now, if there's a red flag, that means Max can come in and put on new tires, and that will count for his third pit stop. So basically, Red Bull is hoping for a red flag. Otherwise, they'll come on the last lap to put on, you know, put a new 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 set of tires, and off they go. I believe they have to use a third tire set of tires. So I don't think Max can just come in, stop, and go back out. That would be a crazy way to um, that would be a crazy way to do a pit stop, but we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen this weekend. So they're telling Science and Albon to swap positions. They're going to try and give Albon a chance to charge up ahead. Russell has pitted. Antonelli has not pitted. Russell does have another pit that he has to mandatory, not besides the drive-through penalty. That's something else. Right now. Okay, what you guys are saying right now. No, Lando's not stupid. Lando right now is in position to win this race if it stays green or even a yellow. If does not serve as second stop, no. If Max doesn't serve, is it a 30-second penalty? I thought he would just be disqualified. It's the same. It's how they would treat someone who didn't pit at all. Would only use one compound. He's Stroll is pitting right now. He's going to drop him back to the end of the pack. He went 47 laps on a used hard. That was like a scrubbed hard. Pitting out on a medium tire. Hulkenberg, 11 laps ago. I suspect he might pit again. It went 20 laps on softs. I'm surprised that they're still surviving out there. It's not a silly for F1 cars. It's a track the F1 cars are silly for this track. It's not the track that's silly. It's the cars are silly. It's the cars have gotten too big. Um, they've gotten too big for this track. It's 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 more of an issue with the car than it is with the track per se. Yes, no, Antonelli has two pits to do. Russell has a pit to do. Sonoda still has a pit to do. Max has a pit to do. So we've got some weird pit strategies going on with those four. Will Leclerc overtake? He is within point. He hasn't. He's within point 0.6 of Norris right now. Yeah, where is people are saying that there's a 30-second penalty for not pitting. I'm curious where you guys are getting that information because I know that again, if you don't use two compounds, let's say you can again go the whole race on one set of hards during unless there's a reason the pit entry is closed, you'll be disqualified. Yeah, he will. They will pit. They'll pit Max rather than be disqualified. You guys are saying that's what they said. I don't know who they is. You guys aren't saying who you're. It's an F1 explained. Okay, that's interesting. That it's a 30-second penalty. Yeah, Monaco has a two pit rule this starting this year. So Lando right now is complaining about Charles because he's behind him, pressing him, and Oscar's not there to help. Norris has gotten within point 0.8 of Verstappen. Yeah, Max has already switched compounds. That's not the issue. The issue is that Max needs to do another pit stop per the rules of Monaco right now, and he hasn't. Norris, Leclerc, Oscar have. Hamilton has, but he's so far back. He's not in play right now. He's right now dealing with Snowden and Antonelli, trying to pass them. Looking at what you guys are saying right now. People are asking for Charles to pass Norris, and that would be for the lead, the effective lead, unless we had a red flag. So yeah, a lot of you like all the all the people who are rooting for Max are hoping for a red flag at some point. Um, he is right behind him in the moment. They just told Oscar there's opportunities because Lando and Leclerc are fighting at the moment. When will Max pit? Max, we won't see Max pit unless he has to. That would be on the last lap. He would have to pit. I want to thank everyone who's watching on YouTube right now. I want to thank everyone who's watching on Twitch. Huge numbers this weekend. Thank you so much. Again, if we get a red flag right now in the next 5 laps, Max will win because he'll be able to stop, effectively do a pit stop for free, and put on these last set of tires. Antonelli's now pitting. So if we go green and we go or there's a yellow, Max is going to have to pit so he doesn't get a massive penalty. And right now, the gap between Lando and Charles is 0.353, jumping between zero point 0.4, zero point 0.5, zero point 0.3. But Charles is within 2 car lengths of Lando right now. Oscar has moved in with about 3 car lengths now. Yes, you have to pit in a race. Normally, you have to do at least 1 pit stop to get 2 compounds. We still have the 2 compound rule in place, but we also have a 2 stop mandatory here in Monaco. One Antonelli pit because he needed to. I mean, he that was his first, literally his first pit. He has to pit again. So does Sonoda and I believe Russell. No, Russell has pitted a second time. So we will see another pit stop from Antonelli. We'll see another pit stop from Sonoda. And we still have to see a pit stop from Max before the end of this race. We're not predicting. Again, I want to. A lot of people are saying um, there are people who are predicting crashes. That is not what I'm trying to say here, though. Ooh, Max coming around that barrier, only a few centimeters away from it. Yeah, it's mandatory 2 stops in this race, Moonbach. And Leclerc was in about a length and a half to Norris. Oscar's about two and a half car lengths to Leclerc. And again, Charles around that hairpin is getting within under a meter to Lando on that hairpin. So again, this is where the race is right now. I Those who are saying this was boring, I mean, uh, we've got a fight here, legit for the win. Oh, Charles, so close. 0.265. He's close as he's been so far. They're in the swimming pool section. Oh, they're so close. Norris is doing what he can to keep Charles ahead, behind him. Oscar there, if anything happened, there to take advantage of anything. You'd think Oscar would get closer to Charles to at least put pressure on him. Lando makes any mistake, Charles is ready to pounce on him. If either of those two make mistakes, Oscar's ready to pounce on them. Oh, they are racing. Max is only a second and a half ahead. If he makes a mistake, they will pounce on him. Again, he still needs to pit. He's waiting for and that's Sonoda coming into the pit. So that Sonoda had to pit. That's going to drop him down. He was out of the points already, so it's going to drop him down at least 14, 15, 16. to behind Stroll. So not a good weekend for Sonoda. So if yeah, we're on the penultimate lap. We're second, 2 laps to go in this race right now. Max will have to come in this at the end of this lap to pit for tires. Right now we've got Norris, Leclerc, Oscar, and Norris is with under a second to Max. They just hit turn 11, going into turn 12. Russell's got the fastest lap, and they are going to box Max. They have to. Max has been brought into pit, and he's going to drop to fourth ultimately. So now the race is now Norris is going to lead this race. Leclerc is behind him, but he's a 0.9 right now. And Charles has dropped back over a second, 1.2. Are they spreading out? Norris did the fastest first sector. 3/10 loss in that sector to Leclerc. Even more by Oscar. And here comes Norris through the past the new chicane into the swimming pool section. And Norris is getting it's a 2.5 gap now. That is he is not going to pass him at this point. So Norris is going to win this race. Here comes Leclerc. Oscar's only 0.8 behind. And Oscar, yep, Lando just won. Leclerc is going to come P2, and Oscar is going to be P3. That's going to be our podium. Antonelli is going to take the flag. So is Albon and Sainz. They are laps behind. And Norris does that in style. Fastest sector 1, sector 2, improved sector 3. Fastest lap. Max is now taking the flag. Hamilton dropped back so far. I think the timing board is a little messed up at the moment because they've checkered flag people ahead of Hamilton. So there we go. That's going to fix it. Hamilton's going to come up to P8. So the board is a bit messed up because people have taken the checkered flag and some people haven't taken the checkered flag yet. Isaac's going to take. So Hamilton has finished 5th, Isaac 6th, Ocon 7th, Lawson 8th, Albon is 9th, and Sainz ends up being 10th. So double points for Williams, double points for Racing Bulls, double points for McLaren, double points for McLaren. Again, double podium for McLaren. Norris takes the lead. Yeah, and this is ultimately the Monaco race for everyone. That's crazy. This was a crazy race. This was an interesting, crazy race. Had a lot of dynamics, a lot of subtle dynamics. I know people didn't, people like the overtakes. I understand that. But this was tactical and strategic. This was about, you know, skill. For everyone here at the Racing Six YouTube channel, I want to thank, I want to thank you again. I want to thank everyone over on on Twitch. Wow, we got huge numbers over on Twitch, huge numbers here on YouTube. Um, this has been Grash. I've been your commentator. This is going to bring our coverage for F1 this weekend to a close. We will be back next Friday with FP1 for Spain. So for everyone in the Racing Sixes family, we'll have a good afternoon. Today, if you're a racing fan, this is just the start of the day. It will kick off again in a few hours in Indianapolis for the Indianapolis 500. Schwartzman is on pole. Prema and Schwartzman are on pole in their first year. Parawar and Sato are on that front row as well. Drama with Newgarden having a massive penalty because his team is cheating. He's on the back row. And then if you guys are even crazier, there will be the 600 NASCAR race. So we've got miles and miles to go this afternoon. If those are not, we will see you Friday. Take care, everyone.